Hello, my name is Edgetale and this is Four Last Things. It's a quirky little point and click game. It's made entirely of just Renaissance paintings kind of cobbled together. Everything's kind of a hodgepodge of classic art. It makes it very interesting to look at. So the actual run itself doesn't really feature any glitches, but at least it'll be a visual kind of treat for the eyes anyway. The run begins after clicking yes here. So 3, 2, 1, go. And now we have a long intro cutscene, which can't really be skipped, but at least the music's very relaxing, so it makes it a bit easier to put up with every time. Yeah, we begin here in the Garden of Eden, which has animals eating other animals in the background. Doesn't seem that paradise-like, but oh well. Weird trilobite thing on the side there. Yeah. We can mash through some dialogue now and then eat an apple as quickly as possible. There we are. And eat. And oh, it was all a dream. So this is our protagonist. He had a dream after committing loads of sins. He's worried his sins will come back to get him and that he'll suffer in hell for all eternity. So he runs to the Church of Heavenly Peter, so that Saint Peter can absolve him of his sins. But when he gets there, it turns out, since his sins were committed in a different parish, he can't actually get help here. So we need to recommit all those sins all over again and then seek forgiveness, which seems a bit redundant. Just maybe live a good life instead of going through all this, but whatever. Wouldn't have a game without that. So we'll quickly run past some interesting background characters, some floating egg people, and our first sin, pretty simple. We just have a little rest after that run, and we'll eventually, after a long wait, get the sin of Slot. The group of characters here, and they're actually, well, the faces anyway, are Kickstarter backers, which I think is a fun way to include your Kickstarter backers in your game. Yeah, a little brain surgery there while a priest kind of blesses them. There we are. Now, this is one of several little unskippable cutscenes. Yeah, there's no way to kind of speed these up, but it makes for good donation reading. So yeah, good time to have donations, which we'll hopefully have a lot of, because Save the Children is a good charity. Children are the future. Jug, and next we need to run into the tavern for another very quick and easy sin. Envy. So yeah, the later sins can be quite complicated and involve a bit of backtracking, but early ones are just pretty simple and straightforward. I wish I could be as quick as you, and there we go, that's Envy. So 2 of 7 down, good going so far. Memory serves, all those options will give you the same kind of result, but some of them have less dialogue, so there's a bit less to click through. Which is usually the rationale behind most of the dialogue choices when you have multiple choices, just whatever's slightly quicker. Jug here, grab some beer for a drunk outside who definitely doesn't need any more. We're going to give him some more. So yeah, we give him some more ale, because why not? And he downs it as quick as he can, considering he only has a small glass. And then he'll run off to go to the loo, and we have to follow him. But on the way, we need to grab a few items for later. We need to grab a chisel and some rotten food. So grab that now. Steal. There we are. You steal from her and tell her to piss off, which is very rude. Now we need to steal this man's piss. And we just about got it in time. If you take too long, he will run away and you'll need to start the whole process again. We just about got there in time. What's all this then? A lawyer trying to scam these people out of all their inheritance. You ask for help naturally. You go and get the document from him, for him. We get that by talking to this odd-looking gentleman on the side there. and we answer a riddle for him. The answer being Jacob van Utrecht, and that is the painter of our protagonist's head, if I remember right, because like the backgrounds, the protagonist is a hodgepodge of different Renaissance paintings. Okay, now we need to give this man back his documents, and there we go. That is greed. Sin 3 of 7 down. And just relax, admire the little baby stance moves. While some dogs fight in the corner there. This game does have a wandering dog NPC in a different area, but sadly you cannot pet the dog in this game. It's an absolute travesty if you ask me. Okay, so we need to go in here, feed the guard monkey so we can get past, and then we need to give this doctor the urine we collected. And he lets us take whatever we want, and we choose to take some poison for another sin later on. And that is pretty much this area done. Just need to quickly sharpen this chisel. That musician is just shredding that lake. Okay, now we need to go to this area for several sins and some items we need for our final sin. Yeah, there's a dog there, he'll follow you. You can't pet him, it is depressing, I know. Yeah, if you accidentally use the money on yourself, your character says that you're worth more than that amount of money. Now we are just getting 2 paintings commissioned, a painting of the protagonist and a painting of a woman, which we'll need to swap with another painting at the gallery. The painter, I must say, is blind, which is why we need to describe who he's painting. Here's a woman, white pillows, dark hair, dark eyes, white dress. There we go. If you choose the incorrect option, or well, not a valid option, you actually don't get a painting and he makes you start the whole process again, the painter. Now here we are challenging the Pie King to a pie eating contest, but obviously being the Pie King, he is a bit more talented than us. So we need to distract him and poison his pie. Look behind you, one with bare ankles, and now we use poison on his pie. And we try to misclick as little as possible. So there we go, challenge him again. Things might go differently this time. I think he still finished first, but he died, so we're the real winner's name. There we are, that's Rat. And now there is a pile of pies beside the Pie King table, and we're going to guzzle as many of them as possible in a moment to get the sin of gluttony. But first we're going to run to the gallery and grab a painting. A woman, swap it for a woman we'll be trying to woo. Yeah, all the paintings in this gallery are actually the originals that the backgrounds and characters of this game are taken from. It's a very cool tribute to the actual artists. Okay, we need to go and eat as many pies as possible here. Takes a while. Usually takes longer than you think. Your character will say some line along the lines of couldn't eat another pie, and then you eat another pie, and that's gluttony. And afterwards I'm going to actually take one of these pies to bring with us for the donation incentive I've set, in case we hit that. The incentive involves donating all your items at the end of the game to a beggar. So an extra item to give her would be nice if we do meet that incentive. Because food is really one of the most important things you can donate to the beggar, really. It's gluttony, so just 2 more sins. One will get very, very quickly. Okay, grab some pies, and now run past the dog, who again we can't pet. Breaks my heart every time. And now we need to use the chisel on the statue and try and carve a painting or a statue of ourselves. but we need a likeness, and now we can place the portrait there and try again. Yeah, it's interesting. Our character needs an in-universe reason for being able to do this now, but a lot of the actions we take in the game aren't really prompted by anything in-universe. Like, we can collect that drunkard's key without any in-universe reason for doing so. Yeah, the game's logic kind of restricts you this one time, but not really anywhere else. Okay, so that's 6 of 7 sins down, so now we need to quickly run back to just outside the church, really, and have a poet write a poem that we'll steal. Okay, he sees the woman, he falls in love and writes a poem, and then we immediately steal it. Because when you're committing all the cardinal sins, what's one more kind of sin? Now we need to woo a woman. We'll woo this woman, show her a poem. She really, really enjoys the verse, and there we go. That is lust. Sin 7 of 7. And now we can go back to the Church of Heavenly Peter and hopefully get absolved, and then we'll have a happy ending. While we leave these people to dance and do drugs as the guy in the bottom left is doing. There we are. Okay, now I need to tell the bishops that we've successfully committed all of the sins all over again. Confession now. And now here is the beggar NPC we will donate all our items to. If the incentive is met, let's pretend it was. We'll give her our to-do list from the start of the game, and she can learn to read using it. We'll give her a pie, and she can deal with hunger. Give her poison, she can kill her enemies. Give her money, she can presumably buy a home and more food. There's a hell of a lot of money. She has a lot and she can learn a trade. There we go. Now we need to talk to Heavenly Peter himself on his throne next to a weird animal and a odd toilet looking man. Looks like a toilet lid hat he has on. There we go. Confessed all sins. Now at the end here all the dialogue options will lead to the same ending, so you can just mash through them all. Some are a bit shorter, but in a marathon can't be wasting time trying to click accurately, just spam away to get through all that. So we take a leap of faith, see what God wants to do with us after all that sinning, and lo and behold, we died and we're sent to hell after committing all 7 deadly sins twice. Yeah, so this is hell. Probably some of the most interesting kind of background artwork here. A lot of it is taken from, I think, Hieronymus Bosch paintings, who was Dutch, I think. Yeah, weird half-man statue with people living in him. Animals eating a man in armor. People ice skating. And my favourite, the bird eating a man whose arse is on fire, who's also laying an egg. So now we need to toil away here for all eternity, mining a rock. Time will end when the screen is fully black. It takes a long time, but it's an interesting way to get the credits to start rolling eventually. After a few more clicks, there we go. So yeah, this was 4 Last Things. Fun little point-and-click adventure game, bit of a hidden gem. Hopefully a lot of you check it out, because I find it fun. It is the first game I decided to speedrun, and it was made by just one person, which always impressive. And one more. There we go. That is time. Hopefully we are under estimate. Let's have a look here. tab out. There we are. Yep, underestimate safely this time. Yeah, so if the donation incentive was met and we're, say, on world record pace, we could either meet it in the actual run itself and I could sacrifice the good pace, or do it afterwards by clicking continue here, because it brings you to this room again with all your items. So yeah, two options for the actual donation incentive. So yeah, that was 4 last things. This was my second commentary practice. Clearly need to practice some more, but feeling a bit more confident. Starting to hate the sound of my own voice a bit less. Always good. So thank you.